You're very good at this, and I'm glad that you do it.
Well, thank you. Praise God.
You've thought about this for a long time. Have you ever just kind of gotten tired of the topic, or not tired because it's unworthy, but tired because you're a human being and focusing on such a dark subject gets exhausting?
It can be exhausting, or in particular, if there's a question that seems to be something you've answered a lot and maybe in the same way. But at the same time, this realization that if I've been given a gift to think clearly and then to communicate clearly, there comes a profound responsibility to share that to help others. And so, I am happy to be able to do that. And just to actually relate to that, as we go back to the question about the woman's life in danger, one of the points I wanted to make in my book, if we set aside a topic, which I dove into very specifically, one of the points I wanted to make in my book is something we often forget when the case of the woman's life being in danger comes up, which is something I referenced earlier, which is that our ultimate purpose in life is not length of life, it's heaven. And it's the loss of my 4 children through miscarriage that has really brought that idea to the forefront of my mind. Because when I lost baby after baby after baby, 3 in a row, the first one I lost, then I had a live birth, and then I lost 3 in a row. And when we lost the 3rd in a row, which was our 4th child, Job, who we named after the Job in the Bible, and we had named that baby Job before the baby died because of the end of the book of Job. Everyone knows that story for Job having everything taken from him and all these terrible things happening to him. But at the end of the story, he gets everything back twofold. And so when we got pregnant again, we're like, oh my goodness, God's blessing us with another child. We're getting everything twofold. We saw the baby twice on ultrasound. We saw the heartbeat and everything seemed to be going great. And then at a routine 12-week appointment, the Doppler, my doctor heard no heartbeat in the Doppler. And so he did an ultrasound, and then the baby is just still on the screen. Oh. And my doctor is stone-faced. And then I knew something was wrong. And
I'm sorry.
And we had no idea. So I had gone weeks thinking everything was just fine because we'd seen the baby. And I remember in that moment, or shortly after when we left the doctor's office, saying to my husband, I never want to get pregnant again. And there was a hardening of my heart that naturally comes from suffering. And my claim that I didn't want to get pregnant again was really just a way of communicating, I don't want to lose another baby. And I'm afraid, and often so many things in life involve fear, I'm afraid that if I get pregnant again, I'm going to have another miscarriage, and I cannot emotionally endure losing another child, let alone the physical realities of miscarriage. And I remember being frustrated at that loss in particular because I had had a rough first trimester and felt very sick and was often like laying on the couch, not interacting with my toddler the way I felt she deserved, and thinking, what was the point of that? Like, Violet didn't get as much attention. I went through all this sickness, but for what? And it's okay to ask questions. What matters is getting the right answers. And so as I really wrestled with that, I realized, oh my gosh, the value of my children's life is not in the length of their life. The value of my children's life is not what I get out of them. It's not in how much time I get to personally spend with them or how fulfilled I feel by them. The value in their life is that they are made in God's image and they are made for eternity, and that in eternity, they're supposed to get to heaven. And 4 of my children are already there. They've already achieved the goal. And so it helped me realize that when we find ourselves in these ethical dilemmas, now going to the issue of a woman's life being in danger, I think if we can intervene ethically, we absolutely should. And that's why a salpingectomy is a great alternative to methotrexate. It's not an abortion. But I think a more fundamental message we need to get across, which I convey in the chapter on the woman's life being in danger, is at the end of the day, if there isn't a way to save a woman's life without committing an act of homicide, then it's better to accept death, because our goal isn't length of life. Our goal is heaven. And I share a very powerful story in the book, a true story, of a wonderful woman back in Canada who got pregnant, and at around 16 weeks, she found out she had breast cancer. And the doctor said, look, this is super aggressive. And if we don't do an abortion and start chemo, like, I'm worried you're going to die. And she just took one look at him and said, I'm not going to kill my baby. And would it have been okay if it was life or death for her to have chemo without the abortion? And just, it's possible chemo could hurt the baby, but it might not. She could have done that. Certainly doing the abortion before chemo never would have been ethical. But she chose to not even do chemo until birth. And she said, I want to give this baby the best chance of life because I would do that for my born child. And so she carried through with the pregnancy till 40 weeks when she went into labor. And as soon as the baby was born, they started cancer treatment and chemo and radiation and surgery and everything. And she lived for 2 years, but she ultimately died. And I interviewed her husband for the book. And
holy mackerel, what a woman.
What a woman. And so I included her story in the book very intentionally because she had the right attitude and she had the right perspective.
What was it like chatting to her husband?
What's that?
How did her husband speak of her?
Oh my gosh. Well,
because I think I would vacillate between admiration and anger.
Well,
because I like my wife.
I know, right? And that's what, as now a pregnant wife and mother, I've thought, oh my gosh, like I would never want to die, right? But see if I can find one of the exact quotes in here because it's just so powerful. So no, like what he didn't know was that as I interviewed him, I was miscarrying one of my babies. And the attitude he had is truly remarkable. Where is it when our bodies are broken? I know it's in here. Oh yeah. Here it is. Okay. So her name was Lorraine. And Daryl said, where was Lorraine's heart? It was with the baby in her womb. That was of ultimate value. And then he described his wife as having what he called, quote, the unbeatable three: courage, love, and a willingness to suffer. And then he explained, quote, the love she had for the child in the womb is what gave her the courage to be willing to sacrifice herself. And he said, these three qualities summarize what our faith represents. It's exactly what Jesus did. The love Jesus had for us is what gave him the courage to be willing to sacrifice himself. And so the attitude this woman had, which is, my life is not my own, my body for you, and I'm ultimately made for heaven. That's the ultimate perspective we need to have, and to not be afraid to bear witness to that, because you can't help but be moved by someone who actually lives that out. And then the beautiful thing is, so she had an older son, a friend of mine, Michael, who actually is a Catholic missionary in Canada. And then this daughter who was 2 when the mom died. Both of them are devout Catholics who love the Lord and are a profound witness to our ultimate goal being heaven, that they can suffer and they can lose. But at the end of the day, we're living for a world where there are no more tears and no more suffering, and we have everything but gain, or everything we have is gain. So I think, when the woman's life is in danger, to wrap all this up, do we look for ethical ways to intervene? Absolutely. And these days with modern technology, do we usually have a way to intervene? Absolutely. But if someone were to come to me and say, but if you had a situation where there was literally no way to save the mother without committing homicide, my answer would be, I would die. I would die, because my goal is not this world. My goal is the next.
Hey, thank you so much for watching. Before you go, do us a favor, leave a comment, let us know what you thought of the video, like, and subscribe.